Wop. And unmute Discord. There we go. Now everybody can hear. Everybody can hear. Well, I mean, most people will be in ads still because it's just starting. But we're just going over a recap anyway. So hi, stream. All right. So things that occurred, things that were happening, things that existed. Last time we played, you guys went to the capital. I think Melinda's here. You guys went to the capital of Brittany and got your ship repaired because you got beat to hell by another ship that was being captained by Mr. Phobius, the good old Phoebe. Got a few things. Reset your ship because a day had already technically passed. So Lyra, you resummoned your ship in new and working order. And then you guys sailed out to go and get to this hidden temple, this underwater location that, for all you guys know or currently believe, has not. Oh, thank you. Oop, there we go. That also means my glow effect wasn't up. Dang it. The should not have been already gotten by Captain Blood-Eye yet. Should not have been an explored location. You arrived and, using your ship, dove under the water. Deeper and deeper, nearly to the ocean floor. You are currently at the top of what seems to be a tower of some sort, to a larger structure that would be farther down, probably on the ocean floor. Plopper. Somewhere on
we wanted that kind of a stream.
Somewhere on the ocean floor proper. You're essentially at just one of the possible mini towers. You guys decided to, I believe it was Kaliana, Lyra, and one other person, I don't remember who it was, but at least Lyra and Kaliana were going to attempt to go through the sort of center of this tower, which seems to be almost like a spout. It has bits of like bubbles coming up and out of the tower, most of which are being captured sort of at the top bit of it. However, upon trying to enter it, Lyra and Kaliana, in a wild-shaped form, a sort of what would I call that? Like an aberrant fish, basically, a long, spindly, glowy, a light source fish, a large creature specifically, attempted to go down the spout. However, upon touching the air that was being expelled, you got burnt. It seems the bubbles coming from the from down inside the tower are boiling hot. And that's where we ended last. So, Lyra, Kaliana, you just got burnt and backed up from the bubbles that are coming out of the top bit of this tower. And I need, your ship is sort of parked right next to here. It's not like a far distance. So I need everybody to make a perception check for me, please. Why is it spicy?
Rip.
The air's so spiky.
Wow.
Hey.
Rigel, you okay there?
A natural one.
This is
Rigel sees everything.
Start.
It's true. Rigel, you see eyes everywhere, red eyes staring at. No, I'm just kidding.
See?
I'm kidding. Only Lyra gets those images. So.
I like that response, Rigel.
For everybody who got a 20 or higher, so that was Lyra and Mai, you guys will see this first. So, you notice as you back out, Lyra, and Mai, you notice as something seems to have happened. Um, sort of top rim of the tower, right below where you guys were just trying to enter. So, uh, if you think the tower as being like a an outpost where somebody could like stand at the top and then shoot down, that's sort of the gap you guys were going in to get into the vent of sorts. Um, the rim right below that begins to light up, sort of deep blue and deep green and deep red, and then the lights begin to push down the tower as you see that all of these very vivid lights are a part of a large coral structure built with the tower. But it's not the dead coral you're used to seeing, the white pale coral with the almost pastel like colorations. It is much more vivid, much more bright. And I'm gonna move Melinda because I keep using my right hand and I'm just like petting Melinda over here. Yeah, where?
Bad touch, no touch, no touch, bad touch.
Hi,
Hi. Sorry, I'm late.
welcome.
Welcome.
It's been crazy. I still have family over and I forgot it was Sunday.
Oh.
That is okay.
Mhm.
That's some bullshit. No, it's yeah. It's, there we go. I'll put it over there. Potato, you're kind of hidden now. There's a hidden potato.
Hidden potato.
Just
Find the potato.
there we go. You can kind of see potato. All right. Also,
You
I
can't
did
catch me. I'm the
get
potato
the
man.
hydrate. Hang on. I want to see if did I fix that part of my model. I did. Aha!
You can't put me behind potatoes since I'm at the
Good
end of the
goop.
line.
Sorry for the late redeem on the hydrate there. But you see as the lights rushing down the tower, upon reaching what seems to be a plateau at the sort of bottom portion of this tower, the lights then spread out, and you're able to see the entire structure down below you. You see that there are 4 total towers, sort of placed randomly. It doesn't seem like they're placed like at the corners of the building. They're not seemingly placed with any rhyme or reason. They're just sort of like 4 towers jutting out of this structure. However, at the center of this large square structure down below is a massive that'd be stained glass mural that begins to also glow. You see the what seems to be the image of a large manta ray. And that's it. The lights have lit up the entire structure below. You can see that there is now like more to the building than just these towers, and you can see the 4 towers total. So the one you guys are in front of, and then 3 others sort of slightly off in the distance. It looks like this structure is fairly large. We're talking like cathedral in Venice levels of large. It's quite large. However, it is all underwater. And the stained glass window, instead of being like at the front of the temple, is on the top of it, facing up towards the sky. And
I'd
then,
like to live.
oh, sorry, what was that? What'd you say?
I want to live there.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're certainly you can certainly give that a try. The individuals, so Lyra and Mai, who had the higher than 20, you also see in what is still darkness, now that it's got sort of like a backlight to it, there are unlit chains drifting sort of up from the temple itself, holding bodies down in the water. Rather, holding them from floating up. You know, like how a corpse gets bloated and then floats? There are a bunch of corpses chained off of this cathedral, sort of floating and drifting up. They're locked in position where they are now, but you are the people who can actually see this. Everybody else cannot see it in the darkness. there's not quite enough backlight illumination. It's almost like a shadow just moving a little bit. Whereas Lyra and Mai, you can definitely see that there are bodies chained to this temple.
Feel like we should avoid those. Feel like we should just not touch the bodies. That seems like a normal reaction. Yeah?
I would say that's the normal reaction, yes.
Excellent. Let's not touch those. And just avoid them as much as possible.
Easy enough.
In your gigantic floaty form, Caliana.
And after pointing them out to the other members of the crew and whatnot, all of you are able to kind of vaguely see where they are in the darkness. You would be able to avoid them.
Can Mai see if she can identify what type of being these were before?
Yeah, so they're sort of at the center of the temple proper. So you notice that where you guys parked happens to be slightly over a portion of the temple, but it's not like in the middle. So luckily, none of the chains and bodies are underneath you, but they're only like slightly off the deck. So if you just look a little ways into the darkness, you're able to see them sort of all towards the center, almost chained around the stained glass window area. Um, my you lose perception of like colorations at that distance in the darkness. Um, but if you push your oracle eye up to like one of them, which has to be within 30 feet, so you're like maybe finding one that's close enough to you where you guys ended up parking, you are able to see that it is a humanoid. Um, it's currently very bloated with water and heavily waterlogged, and bits and pieces of it have fallen apart. Um, However, as you look at it, you do notice that its arm is like still moving. Like it has some sort of muscle memory and is like reaching out towards the lights down below. Like it's trying to scrape its way back to the temple down below.
Oh, I'm definitely going to share that information because that makes the temple seem even more suspicious.
It seems as if the individuals being held by the chains are probably undead. What would you guys
we
like to
can't
do?
leave, though. We can't leave. We still have to keep going, right? Because the thing we want is in there, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
So, are you going to go down towards the temple proper, or are you going to keep trying to get in through the vents? Or through this sort of top vent?
Suspenseful music. Mm. The temple has the oh my gosh, spigot spout thing.
Yeah, so it looks as if the towers, and now that everything's lit up down here, you're able to see the full structure. It's just really hard to see the things in the center other than the stained glass window. Um, the towers themselves, which are lit up, you can see all have those bubbles coming out of them. That's not true. I think one of them doesn't. Hang on. Yes, all but one of the towers has bubbles coming out of it.
Is there a way that we can see that doesn't involve the bubbles? Like, can we investigate that one that doesn't have bubbles and see if that's not going to burn us alive if we go down there?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a swim, but you guys have water breathing and stuff, so it's not like you'd be overly straining to just swim over there if you wanted to. Um, The one that doesn't have bubbles would have you cross where the stained glass window is, which means it will have you swimming through area that has chains in it. It's not super dense with chains or dead bodies. There's definitely room that you can easily like swim between everything without getting even close enough that if something could swim, it would be able to catch up to you. But just to be warned, you are going to go through a dark area that does have a bunch of dead bodies that are moving.
I'd flip a coin, but I don't think it would flip very well underwater.
Could also move your ship there if you wanted to.
Where the dead bodies are?
Hmm.
That doesn't seem like a good idea. I feel like that's not a good idea.
So we're just all gonna, I say all gonna swim. Are you and Kaliana and whoever might else be swimming going to just swim it?
Kaliana, what do you think? Do you sense anything with your gigantic fish body?
Kaliana, you sense water. Surrounded by liquid. Yeah, so if Kaliana just starts swimming out there, Kaliana being another source of light in this current form, as Kaliana swims through, you are able to see more to the like chain bits and the bodies, the corpses as you go. You're definitely able to sort of weave between all of it without ever actually touching any of it. The chains are almost silverish in color, like they have a shine to them, which is odd because you're underwater, so most metal should be tarnished or rusted or having problems by now. But this metal seems to almost still shine a little bit as you swim by it. And all of the humanoid creatures that are wrapped in these chains, almost like mafia style, sleeping at the bottom of the, like concrete shoes, except it's a chain hooking them to a temple, just floating there underwater. All of them do move. Everyone that you swim by does sort of stop reaching out towards the temple and begin to reach out towards Kaliana's light. However, as soon as Kaliana is far enough away that the light is no longer the most prominent light near them, they once again start reaching down towards the sort of stained glass window that is very glowy right now. It is the most illuminated part of the temple currently. It's backlit by LEDs. No, but it's definitely like really bright compared to the rest of the temple. You are able to swim over to the tower that does not have any bubbles coming out of it, and you are able to see that it does still have a hole at the top of it, as the others do, and seems to go into the darkness of the temple down below.
We're going to carefully YOLO it and just kind of inch our way towards.
Sure, no worries. Yeah, you. No regrets. If you and Kaliana are both going in, it's easy enough. You begin to swim down into the hole, and the water gets colder and colder as you get farther down this tower. Bits and pieces of that sort of much darker colored coral with very vibrant light to it clings to some of the walls. But there's plenty of space. Yeah, you're able to get through this hole and down into a much larger chamber. The chamber you have entered does have a slight glow to it, so you can kind of see, as all of the bits and pieces of that sort of darker coral do have luminescence on their colors. So, deep blues and greens and reds light up the area almost like crystalline torches.
It's so pretty.
There is the entire floor here is covered in that coral, and it's like real thick. You do see some of those bubbles that you had seen before, and you do feel a little bit of heat coming from the direction of the floor. It was getting colder and colder as you went down, but now that you're in this part of the tower, the farther down you go is a little bit of heat again. But that might also just be because you just swam through some really fucking cold water, and it's no longer really, really cold. But there are some bubbles coming out of the coral down below, sort of sporadically and in random locations. You also see to one of the walls there is a large doorway, sort of a double-sided door, one of those big archway doors. It is closed.
I would like to try to open it.
Sure. You head on over to that door and you attempt to open it. The door portion, so it's two separate doors that create this arch. As you go to push on the doors, only the right side moves and begins to open, and you're very quickly able to see why only the right side was moving, as the left side is covered in that coral bits, and there's a hand reaching out towards you.
Oh, I would like to close the door.
Sure. You close the door.
We're just not gonna go that way. I don't need people reaching for me right now. That seems like a bad idea.
Reminder that only you and Kaliana are currently down here.
Oh shit.
Everyone else is still up above unless they wanted to do otherwise.
I mean, I guess I could communicate. There's a door with hands sticking out of it, and get a vote. Do we need a good? I mean, I feel like with the names in the chat, the answer is no. We shouldn't go through the door. But I don't think there's any other. I mean, I could. Should I shoot it?
Maybe not yet.
Not yet.
The entire structure wakes up.
Hmm.
I mean, it'll be fine, right?
Kaliana and Lyra
mean,
end
we
up
could-
getting eaten by the structure.
Maybe we could take the boat down there, just in case we have to fire some cannons at stuff.
So you, the boat would be able to get like next to the tower. You'd be able to shoot at the room, but you'd have to destroy the temple to get any cannon fire in. The hole at the top of the tunnel is only a size for a large creature. I'm just imagining now a giant tower and you sail an entire ship down into the tower.
Suddenly it
Like,
turns on
first
the
you
entire ship
destroy
is
it.
You're gonna magic school bus this and turn it into a large ship with everybody really small and just go into the tower.
I do want to find a way to shrink the ship. That would be freaking cool. But yeah, also, I feel like there's. Did we leave? I can't remember if we left everyone back in town and it was just us, like our main crew, piloting the ship and exploring this area, or did we bring the whole crew with us?
I think you brought the crew with you. I'll leave that up to you. Did you bring the whole crew or not?
Uh,
Is it purely being
it,
piloted by Lyra's thoughts?
Mhm.
that's yeah. So yeah, if I die, y'all are screwed. No, I'm just joking. Um, I want to say that we had left them behind because it was supposed to be a quick trip, but I could be getting it completely mixed up with something else we were doing.
It's possible. You might not have wanted to put the crew in danger either. Because you
Yeah,
were
I
going
really
right
don't.
above the temple.
We were, I don't remember if we actually went to land for like an hour or so and then we came back, or if we were thinking about going to land for
So you guys
something
went.
and then coming back.
you guys went to the capital of Brittany, so you went to Brest. Um, and you guys stayed the night there. You guys actually stayed there. Lyra got wasted
Yeah, I
with the
remember
rest of the
going
crew.
to the bar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because we
I-
had to get the ship repaired, and I think I had to do a long rest for it to reform itself.
And then you resummoned it.
Well, there was something that we were thinking about because there was something about the teleport. I was going to put a circle on the ship and we were going to go somewhere and we could come back within like 24 hours or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I think that was a
that might be what you're thinking.
that's
couple
probably
sessions.
what I'm thinking of.
But yeah,
Which
probably.
I think, yeah, I think that happened before.
Yeah, that was the
we-
Auxerre mission.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I probably would have brought the freaking crew with us against my freaking better judgment. But I mean, it's a crew. It's supposed to be on a ship, so
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody's there. Everybody's still on the ship.
all right, yeah. In that case, I don't want to bring the ship closer to where the zombies are because I don't want them to die. Because I really do I like our guys / girls.
You don't like my, we know this.
Love myself. No, I'm just that was messed up.
I always
Joke.
knew you were a Asterian.
I do love Mysteria, but we're not talking about that right now. We can't do that right now. It's a whole different subject. We don't have time to delve into my mental health issues. Okay, I feel like all right. So not we can maybe bring the ship a little bit closer, but leave the crew on it. But if somebody else wants to hop off of the ship and come down, that's also fine.
Sure.
You guys should just all come to the scary, creepy tower of bubbly dead people.
How do we get there?
You swim.
We currently have water breathing from Melinda.
Right, but like the ocean's
Oh.
kind of big, right? So like if we just jump in, are we gonna see you? Or like are there directions?
The ship currently is parked underwater right next to the tower that had the bubbles coming out of it. Like, you guys were able to see what was going on.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
you might be able to see Caliana's gigantic glow. I think.
Yeah, if they bring the ship over to the other tower, you'd literally be right next to the tower. You would definitely see it. And the tower is glowing. You're able to see all the structures internally. You guys are already underwater. Hooray for submarine ship.
We'll swim towards the giant glowing fish then.
Join the party.
Who will be going into the tower?
Me and Sid.
Rigel and Sid.
Yeah.
Lyra and Caliana, I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Melinda, Mai. What you guys doing?
Melinda don't swim very good.
Wait, I thought you were with us, Melinda. Didn't I grab you and attach you to me?
Did you?
I don't remember. It's been too long. I
Yeah.
have the memory of a literal goldfish. I don't remember.
I remember you doing that. I just don't remember if it was this specific instance. It might have been. It very well could be.
All right, Melinda. Then you saw everything previously from Lyra.
Frick!
Nope, Mai's not going.
All right. If Mai
That was a
stays,
weighted judgment because she would want to go with friends, but also she's just no.
so all of you,
You're lucky
Rigel,
you're
I
not
guess,
small enough
because
to be dragged along. Rude.
Rigel, I guess you're the only one who would have noticed because you're, at least until everybody gets in there. As you sort of jump into the water, sort of leave the bubble of the ship that is underwater to swim towards the tower that doesn't have bubbles coming out of it. You do notice that Mai does not follow.
My, are you coming?
No.
Why? It's gonna abandon us, I see.
I'll keep the ship safe.
Okay. See you maybe later, unless we all die.
My
Tell
promise
our
is to.
story if we all die.
I'll tell your mom we're sorry.
She'll probably already know and be mad at you.
That
I
wouldn't
would
have been
agree.
anything I could do anyway.
You don't know that? You're not here?
And then, when
Did
everybody
you want to try to
joins,
persuade Mai?
No.
Uh, I could try, I guess. Sure.
what does it say? If not, when
I don't know
everybody gets back together down in the tower, because I assume Lyra and Kaliana still sort of like swam back down into the tower after calling everybody, you would notice, everybody would notice that Mai is not with Rigel.
Oh, guys, Maya's not here. She
Heck,
decided to
my.
be a stick in the mud.
Well, she is a cat, so
Decided to abandon us.
In our time of need.
I don't know if the need has happened yet. Maybe she's waiting for us to start dying and then she'll come down.
To collect our dead bodies.
Gotta be able to sell it back to the company. I mean,
Well, she does need
For
to
the
keep her
company.
necromancer boyfriend alive because the earring would probably. I think if I die, the ship goes away, and then everyone on the ship
That's true.
potentially drowns. So I don't know how many people Melinda gave water breathing to.
Let me consult my memory here for a moment and
I'm-
figure out how the frick this spell works.
I'm pretty sure it's only the basic group, because it's
I think it's
limited to
6.
like 10 people. Yeah.
10 willing.
Is it 10?
Yep. So Kaliana, Lyra, me, you, Rigel, Sid. That's 6.
I probably would have done the sea singer then.
Sea
He
Singer's
would
probably
not
fine
need
on his
it.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh, okay.
he's normally one
Uh,
underwater breathing.
Unless
Then our
Gunner.
friendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Necromancer, Gunner, and Aless are the other named ones that are on the ship.
Them guys.
All right.
And then a different random crew member every day. Whoever's closest.
So you get it.
To cast a spell.
Now you get it. Now
Just
you
some
get it.
random guy swabbing the deck.
Yeah.
On the
Congrats, you
ship,
have water
Bracey's the only one
breathing.
survives.
Yeah.
I can't let it go to waste.
That is Melinda's motto.
Everything can be used, even bodies.
What a great
Cycle,
motto.
reuse, reanimate.
I have a T-shirt that says that in real life.
Now Melinda's starting to sound like a necromancer. Wait, what?
Oh man.
I do have necromancy spells.
So, any attempts to convince Mai to join, or are you guys gonna begin adventuring through this without Mai?
I feel like you should try to convince my
Who is you?
you.
Oh my god. My, come down here. The best way to protect the ship is to protect Lyra. If she dies, the ship goes with her. And everyone's just left floating in the ocean.
I mean, you make a point, but how well can we fight down there?
I mean, I'm a dude and Sid's a dragon, so like I don't think, you know, feel like we'll be fine because everyone will be at a disadvantage?
How about you roll a persuasion check real quick? Please roll fairly high. Please roll fairly high.
Please also wait. Can I give him inspiration?
I mean, he probably
Sure.
could get an advantage if somebody else decided to speak up too.
Your necromancer boyfriend's gonna.
Oh, mine is gonna be too far away. I was gonna give her urgent orders to get her ass down here.
Luckily, it's voluntary. She could just say nah.
Yeah, I know.
Is it just roll
Check.
persuasion?
It would be check first.
Ah. Oh,
You got your one out of the
should've-
way, so it's fine. Man, the suspense.
8. 8 whole.
All right, my jumps in.
Yo.
That was close enough that made her kind of like doubt the words, and then all right, fine.
All right. Ma, you jump into the water. It is not as cold as expected until you begin to swim down into the tower. Then it gets colder and colder and colder. Around the temple, the water is actually quite warm. However, down in this tower, it's a little chilly. A little bit chilly. And then when you finally make it down to where everybody else is all hanging out, you now see the much larger chamber that has a coral floor with little bits of bubble coming out of it, as well as the one large archwayed door in front of everybody. What you guys doing?
Push Lyra
Anybody?
towards it and tell her, do the thing.
Hey, I'm attached
the
to her. Be
roar.
careful.
Which thing? The blasting thing or the opening the door thing? Or both?
Whichever you want.
Well, anyways, I start blasting.
What you blasting?
Probably fireball. Why not? Hold on.
Are you just shooting fireball at the closed door?
Yeah.
All right, no worries. I'm just making sure.
I just don't know what's behind it, and unless it's a yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm gonna gesture that everyone stand back a little bit, and then I'll blast it.
Yeah. All right. Cast fireball for me, please.
I feel like this is gonna be a horrible idea.
As everybody sees as the red lightning forms around Lyra and just swoom, a bolt of energy goes out and explodes against the door. Numero 1. Nice. As the red lightning hits the door, sort of splashes in a 20-foot radius sphere centered at the location. So it was really only 10 feet back from where it impacted. You do see as the side of the door that you were able to open just immediately goes and like blows open. The other door sort of, I'd say creaks, but you're underwater, so you don't really hear that very much. You just hear like a under the water, a slight echo of movement. And you are all able to see into the hallway that this door goes into. You can see that the hand that was reaching out towards you, Lyra, is completely embedded in coral. It is literally just a hand poking out of coral. And it has been rent to pieces now.
It's like one of those Halloween props.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, this entire hallway that you guys see in front of you is just covered in that deep and dark coral. And body parts. As you see, there are hands and legs sticking out of different pieces, all of which are moving, like they are reacting to stuff. But there's no heads, no chests, it's just the limbs, the hands and the feet. An occasional arm.
Why is it like this? Why? Who's like super gluing these body parts to the coral? I want to know. Are they just growing like this, or does it just look like someone's put them here?
It looks like, based on positioning, the amount of coral would be surrounding possible bodies inside. So where you see legs sticking up, you see enough coral below that foot that theoretically there could be a full body underneath in the coral, just embedded completely in it. And based on angles, it almost looks like they were blasted against the walls or blasted to the floor before they got covered in coral.
Hmm. Do we see anything else in there other than like?
It's a hallway. It goes farther.
Oh, cool. Okay, so we just have to keep going deeper into the coral body parts.
You would have to, yeah.
Hmm.
If this is the entrance you want to use, there might be another entrance.
Yeah, but the other entrances have spicy bubbles, and I don't know if we want to be burnt all that much either.
Hmm.
We'll probably just keep going down this hallway.
Okay, no worries. Everybody sees as Lyra begins to push farther down the hallway. Kellyanna, in your larger form, there's some places where you kind of like have to sneak a little bit through in order to fit, but you're able to avoid any of the moving limbs easily enough, even in your large form. It's more the coral growths are being a pain in the butt as you are in the sort of large form. Oh my god, that person just fucking fell. That gif, good lord. So yeah, as you guys begin to push down into the hallway, warmth begins to come back to the water. Yeah, as you're looking around, you see nothing of major interest. Everything is as it seems. There is no illusions yet, as far as you can tell. As you guys get farther from the tower that you went down, the coral growths on things lessen. So it begins more to be proper stone floors, a stone ceiling, stone walls. Every now and then there's a coral growth somewhere with like embedded limbs. And you're able to see more like defined features in that there are definitely bodies stuck under that coral. It's not just the limbs that are there, but there's entire bodies underneath. And you're able to see like the individual parts now. So like before it was all kind of like a mess. But now that you're away from that particular tower you entered from, it's like one or two people embedded in coral in a corner, or like blasted onto a ceiling, or fallen to the ground and then covered in coral. It's very weird. And then make it to a major room. The doors of this room are wide open. In fact, one of the doors is sort of like floating on its like off of its hinge, just sort of like it had drifted a few feet away from where the door was supposed to be, but it's still like semi-floating, so it's just sort of like buoyancy neutral, and is just at the same level as the door would normally be. The other door is completely missing, and the room in front of you seems to be a central structure. It's a large. It almost looks like a modern day cathedral, but it looks like you guys came in from like a side room. So the front of the cathedral would actually be to your left. There's a big like a central dais and an altar, and There's a statue behind it that is just covered in that black coral to the point that you can't see what the original statue was, but you can tell that there was a statue there, as there's still the plinth of stone beneath it. You can see pews, like, for sitting, but they're just floating randomly and drifting, and some have been crushed. Some are covered in that black coral. I keep saying black. It's not black. It's just a very dark colored coral. And you notice something else. I want to know where I put that. Hang on. There we go. To the right, as you look towards sort of what would be the normal entrance to a cathedral, looking towards the altar, there are 4 doors. There is 2 large, like, archway doors. That would be sort of like a front entrance, and then off to the sides there are different sets of doors, tunnels. They seem to go off into their own little like hallways. And above the central door, the large archway doors, there is a massive growth of that dark coral. And full people's bodies. There are heads, limbs, people half embedded in the coral, all moving, and all have eyes that glow slightly greenish as they look towards the newcomers. They can't move, because they're embedded in coral.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Rigel
I mean, green is
waves.
better.
He does indeed.
The undead definitely tries to reach out towards you. They don't seem to wave in kind, though.
Not even being friendly.
What would you guys like to do? As of right now, there's no immediate threat.
What is anchoring them all? Is there anything other than the coral that's anchoring them to the ground, or the?
In this case, it would be the wall above the doors. No, it's just the coral. Seems as if the coral is completely embedded into the stone above and is covering all of their bodies and sort of melding them together into one structure.
Bless.
Does it look like the thing we're looking for is in the?
Bless you.
Not as far as you can tell. There's just a bunch of dead people in it that aren't quite dead. There's a bunch of undead people in it. You do notice that the statue, or where the statue should be that is covered in coral, does not have any bodies. It seems to have purely been covered in coral. It has no limbs or anything reaching out from it. And then I want somebody to roll... because you guys are adventuring through here. Let's roll some insight checks. Because I know you guys are probably thinking like, why is there all this coral, right? What is the intent? So if everybody could give me insight checks, please. Check
Oh,
insight.
that's not correct. Whoops.
Check coral.
Wow.
if
So
you
I have a
just
20.
if you type C, it'll stop the thing that you were doing previously. Lyra, there you
Thanks. Yeah,
go.
I was listening as I was typing.
All right, so Melinda and Mai. It seems as if some form of fight had occurred at one point, which has since embedded these undead, these individuals who are here in the coral bits. However, the statue being covered in this dark coral was not done as a part of a fight, but instead probably done out of malice, akin to defacing property. Somebody covered the statue on purpose.
Can I try to see what the statue is of?
So, because it is an actual physical object blocking your perception, even like pushing your oracle eye through, you would only see like the edges of the statue piece by piece. It would take some while. It wouldn't be as easy as just looking at it. You could probably discern the shape after investigating it for 20 minutes or so. Basically, you're gonna have to like MRI it, right? You have to move your view through it to see what's stone and what's not, and then you have to piece together the image in your head of what the fuck is this object, because it is all one solid object. There's no illusion to it. There's no
I would definitely like to do that rather than touching the coral.
Yeah. So you get within you get so that the back of the statue is within 30 feet of you while you're standing in front of where the statue would be, and then you just begin to start passing your vision through. While you do that, what is everybody else doing in the room?
Do I recognize any of the people that are in the coral?
No, they seem humanoid. They've gotten bloated with water over time. You do notice that they have what seems to be the remains of some sort of like tattoos on them. But make a history check for me.
Oh,
Make a check history.
not check well.
Okay, that's pretty decent. They seem to be what would essentially be members of a kind of an old religion. There used to be a different deity of the ocean, a very local deity around the Frankian area, which is why you probably know about this. For a time, they had built up a cult, and it seems that those are those people. You can't really remember the name of the individual, the name of the god off the top of your head, but why they would be in a church that seems to be very Charybdis based, you are uncertain.
Okay.
They don't seem to be Charybdis worshippers that are frozen in this, or stuck in this coral.
Sucks for them.
What is Kaliana doing?
Can I attempt to read their thoughts if any are alive?
Sure. As you sort of put out your little psychic feelers, listening in for any echoes of intelligent life, any thoughts, any psionics. There's a low thrumming noise. Not coming from any of the undead next to you, but it's farther down one of the hallways. There seems to be something emitting some level of intelligence, beyond your friends. I assume you're ignoring their intelligence. But there is some form of intelligent life down one of these hallways that is not undead. As for the undead, they're basically invisible to your psionics. They have no individualized thoughts, and they just seem to be running on pure instinct. They do have that slight glowing green to their eyes, so they're probably magical in nature, but they're not the same as the ones you guys had fought before, the Charybdis ones that all had glowing red eyes, or glowing red right eyes. These seem to be different in some way, shape, or form.
Well, I probably shouldn't check out the other thing until everybody comes with me. So I guess I'll just make them aware of it. But then we should see what everybody else wants to do first.
Sure. Melinda, you're clinging. Mai, you're doing MRI. Rigel, what are you doing?
I'm a stage 5 clinger.
Rigel and Sid, what you guys doing?
I don't think we'd just be like staring at the statue and the stuff on it, like looking for movement, seeing if we notice anything or know anything.
Yeah, easy enough. Unfortunately, the outside of the statue is so heavily covered in coral that you can't really tell the shape interior. But based on what you see of Mai seems to be trying to piece together something on the inside. You're not sure how Mai is seeing through it, but Mai does seem to be piece by piece trying to piece together what part is stone and what part is coral to try to get an image. You do, however, notice, because you're just purely concentrating on the coral at this point, that bits of the coral are slowly growing still. Very slowly, like it's not going to be attacking you anytime soon, but they are growing, and it does seem to be growing in the direction of you guys. Almost like it's trying to slowly grow towards more living entities.
It's trying to trap us slowly.
It is dreadfully slow. Even Mai, who was standing right next to it, would probably take a year to even like touch Mai. It is very, very slow moving, but you do vaguely see the movement of the coral. It is alive and growing. Can I do the fairy circle thingy? Like your illusion domain?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, up to 30 feet. You can mess with the visuals of anything. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I just want to make it seem like it's just water as we're going through. I want to make us as invisible as possible.
Sure. So yeah, everybody within 30 feet of Melinda / Lyra goes invisible. With the exception of the fact that anybody who's inside the circle can still see each other, probably. I assume Melinda would not want to make it so that Lyra can't see friends.
Or you could
just to be
Now
fun.
Now she's only seeing red eyes. No.
No, that's later when we're safe on the ship.
The water around you is covered in red eyes.
So I start blasting again.
So yeah, well, you guys are just investigating, casting your spells, seeing what these undead are, trying to remember, more about the cult. Are you guys gonna wait for Mai to finish her little MRI thing, her little focus, to figure out what the statue is of?
Or are you going to continue exploring?
Yeah, it will take
I was
Mai a
saying,
little while.
What else? I'd explore in the area still, like not leave the room, but like
Yeah.
just poke around at things.
Of course. So, if you're just gonna poke around, go looking for things. If you can roll an investigation check for me, please. Check investigation. Nice. You do quickly notice, as you begin to sort of swim around, that the sort of central cathedral area here does have 2 floors. There doesn't seem to be an obvious way to get to the second floor other than swimming, so it's probably designed with being flooded as the plan. Turns out you don't need stairs or ladders if you can just swim. But that makes it
It's a
weird that
water elevator.
there's yeah, but that makes it weird that there's pews for sitting. You notice that all of the pews for sitting do indeed have like bolts on the bottom of them, like they were bolted to the ground. And as you swim up to the next floors, you see that there are other types of chairs and pews and benches and whatnot, but they're also a lot of them seem to have been ripped up again, cracked, broken, covered in coral. It seems like some form of fight took place here and has destroyed anything that was bolted down. You do also, because you were the first one who was just investigating like general area, you do find that on the second floor, as a part of the debris of like what seems to be a broken chest, probably someplace to put like personal belongings and stuff while you're, watching a sermon, had been blown apart, and there is a small amulet just drifting there in the water.
Ooh. I'm gonna go near it and see what it is.
Yeah, you float closer to it and sort of examine it, give it the good eyeballing. It seems to be made of a very shiny silver material, and it has a blue symbol on it. Looks kind of like a snake or a serpent.
Mhm.
I'm gonna grab it.
All right, you grab a hold of the amulet. Yeah, it's pretty cold. It's been sitting in water for a long time and seems to be a very shiny metal. The metal seems to be holding in like cold energy of some sort. It's like you just grabbed icy metal. Don't stick your tongue to it or it'll get stuck there type type metal. You know what I mean?
Take your time to it.
Do it.
Uh,
Lick it. No.
the blue serpent seems to be made using some sort of like a what is that called? Is the stone actually called turquoise? I know turquoise is a color.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
there's also a stone named turquoise, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is it is a deep blue and tealish colored turquoise that is embedded in this silver material that makes the image of this serpent. It also has a single green emerald where an eyeball would be on the serpent.
Not suspicious at all. I'm gonna
Mhm.
show people. Be like, hey, I found this thing.
Yeah, you swim on down
Ooh.
and begin to show. Lyra,
Yes.
remember those tattoos?
Yes.
There used to be a northern cult that had moved western. So, back in the day when the North was actually a thing before it got destroyed by demons and devils, there were individuals who believed in something known as the World Serpent.
Ooh.
That's the cult.
Oh.
They
Fun.
had since moved to around Francia after the fall of the North. But due to how the North fell, most of them had been dead, so it became more of a cult and more of a local deity style thing. Once that rushes back to you, you do vaguely remember that, much like Charybdis or Scylla, it is a worship of something that used to probably be a monster, either a leviathan or sea serpent of some kind that got enough worship that it became, quote, the world eater. Um,
Ooh.
but upon the fall of the North, became more of a local deity again. So it was probably just lost its divinity and became a monster again.
That's pretty dope. I'm not going to tell Rachel that. I'm going to say, oh, I remember this guy. He's a snake that likes to eat small children.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna keep it then.
Yeah, don't give it to Melinda. She likes to spirit them away.
You don't know that.
Melinda's actually a distant relative of this serpent.
You cannot confirm or deny this.
Spirits have a way so they can eat them.
You have no evidence.
This is on canon that I am saying this. I can't. This has to be real now. Real
Yeah.
fake bullshit is what it is.
Melinda has eaten at least 200 children. No,
No one knows
Let's
the
just
exact
say if
count.
you dip it in the blood of orphans, it'll give you unimaginable powers.
it does. I'd say out of your periphery / if Rigel showed it to you while you were sort of trying to piece together the MRI bits, like after scanning and just going over the images in your book, sort of like putting them together piece by piece. Luckily, you can store information in that book of yours, so as you were like figuring out each layer, you're like, okay, put it on the paper, and then you did the next layer, and then you put it on the paper. Okay, next layer, and put it on. So you are literally doing an MRI basically of this this structure. If Rigel shows you that, you do see faint magical energies coming off of the amulet.
Look at it.
Well, it seems to be magical of sorts.
Ooh, I'm definitely keeping it then. I'm not gonna wear it yet though.
Do you
That
want me
sounds
to
like a
look
bad
at it for
idea.
you?
Cursed item.
Do you want me
Oh,
to
yeah.
look at it for you? I could
Yes,
do
please.
that.
Can I wear it? Should I wear it?
Yes.
Let me look at it first.
Look at it while it's on him.
Automatically curses him. Yeah, so it's cursed.
So it's fine.
Based on the amount of time it will take Mai to finish the MRI scan, if Melinda would like to cast Identify as a ritual, so you don't have to
Yeah.
use a spell slot for it, you will have enough time to do that. You can
Yeah.
ritually cast that, learn what that thing is, and then Mai will have finished what the MRI is at the same time.
Okay, give me 10 minutes.
Okay, maybe it'll help the snake dragon people not hate me.
There's a
Or
bit of
they'll
a
hate you even
struggle
more.
underwater casting your version of Identify because you're used to casting it above ground, so you're like trying to put it on the ground and it just starts floating
Starts
up off the
floating off,
ground,
yeah.
and you're trying to like put the chalk down on the ground, and you're like, oh, I need to light a candle for and so you quickly find some alternatives for casting Identify, but you are able to complete the spell even underwater. Upon completion, we'll go with the Identify first, and then we'll say what Mai sees. So, the amulet in question is indeed a World Eater's amulet. It is a divine magical object. It allows you to do two things. One, you may communicate with the beast known as the World Eater.
Ooh.
That's
And
fucking
two,
dope.
you can request divine intervention, which is exactly as it works for a cleric. You roll a d100, and if it's below your character level, the World Eater can do it for you. The World Eater is a divine patron in this case. It is not attuned, so you can wear it at any point. It is also cursed.
Hey Rigel,
Hi.
do you want a new boss?
Depends.
You could have a new boss, but they will do a bad thing, but you could also get some good things out of it.
What are the bad things?
I don't know. I cannot tell that.
Yeah, the only part of the curse you can tell is that upon equipping the amulet, you cannot unequip it. You cannot tell the other parts, but you know that there are more.
Oh, so once he attunes to that thing, it's done. He's
not attuned.
basically just
It's not even attuned, it's just the
Oh.
second you wear the amulet, it is stuck to you forever. You get
Oh,
its
okay.
powers, which are pretty great.
Unless one of us forces it off of him.
Yes. If you
Potentially.
cast a remove curse, so if you have like a cleric or something and cast a remove curse, you would then be able to remove the object, assuming the level of remove curse is higher than the level of the cursed object in this case. Because normally it only breaks attunement. This item does not attune. Basically, you'd have to cast a level higher than the level of the curse, and you can't tell what level the
Ooh.
curse is.
Wizards can learn it too. So
Melinda could theoretically learn it, and hopefully have a high enough level to remove the amulet if it does something bad.
But do I have enough money in my pocket to be able to want to spend a spell slot on taking a curse away?
Rigel, I say you just put it on and see what happens.
I'm gonna
Oh
need
my
like
god.
4 purples for that.
You need what?
4 purples.
Yep, 4 purples.
But I'm already your helper for all these other things.
I'ma still need 4 purples for that.
Wait,
I
but
mean,
then you're not my boss anymore if I'm getting a new boss.
Correct. Which is why I need payment. Oh, okay, so you're adding that on top of it, so now I'm gonna need 6 purples instead of the 4, because now I'm losing a minion.
What if, as part of the payment, I become your minion again?
Hmm.
I mean, don't you
Alright,
want
4
someone that can
purples.
communicate with a world eater?
You do make a very good point here. Okay, 3 purples and 4 favors.
Those favors are 20 purples each now.
Here, shake my hand, make a deal.
You are talking to a fairy after all.
The favors can't be monetary compensation
Ah.
or
Bro.
material compensation.
They can't be anything that leads to monetary compensation.
I didn't say that. I just said they can't
No,
be actual. It can't be give me all your gold,
right, but she could
for example.
you also said no materials, but she could request like you buy her a longsword.
Oh, yes. She
That's why I
could.
said nothing that could lead to monetary compensation.
But then I would be giving her material, which is part of the condition.
Is it a material though? It's a weapon.
Is a weapon a material object?
It is a material object, but it is not a material
It is
somewhere
material.
unless it is somewhere
Like,
listed that is used in a spell or
I didn't
I
say
crafting
need
or
a
that
spell
this boy.
component. I didn't say a spell component. I said material object.
There you go. Say it as a material object.
I like
Fairies
the
are very
yoink.
specific about
Hey,
words.
Lyra, roll the sleight of hand, please.
Yeah.
She's gonna win because I'm so weak.
Check
yeah, who
sleight.
has it right
check
now?
sleight.
I'm holding
Melinda
it
has
in
it.
my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.
2?
Nope.
Ah.
You do not even beat the basic passive perception of anybody in the room, so as you go to everybody sees you reach towards the amulet.
Just
So I'm gonna take that
slide
back.
it further into your armor so that you can't reach it.
Just gonna
As
try
you
to
slowly
shove
reach,
my
I
arms
just
down my shirt to try and grab Melinda.
no! Hands off! Bad touch! Start smacking your fingers. No! You put me in here, now leave me alone.
Up to you. Melinda currently has it.
Can I have it back so that someone doesn't try to steal it from you?
Well, is Lyra still trying to reach for it? Is she still
No,
digging in her armor?
after you caught me, I gave up.
Okay.
For now.
I'll pop my head back out and I'll like try to shove it, wedge it out of the top of Lyra's armor.
Gonna yank it as soon as I see it.
I wonder if that'll let you call I mean, he's not a god, but Does it allow you to call other sea serpents and sea monsters, or is it just the world eater?
According to the Identify spell, it allows you to contact the creature or beast known as the World Eater.
Okay, so not the guy that hates Rigel's dragons.
He might not like dragons. You don't know yet. You haven't talked to the World Eater.
We talk to the World Eater, Rigel. Call him. Put it on.
He's not gonna be able to take it off once he puts it on.
That's fine.
Because I do not have bestow curse, or not bestow.
Remove
Get
curse.
rid of curse, whatever the fuck it's called. I do not have the ability to take the curse away yet.
That's okay. He'll be fine. It'll be fine. I need my sea monster child, and I want to find out if this big guy has just, the hookup. Can you imagine if we had
Okay.
just an army?
I'll put it on, but
Yes.
you owe me.
How do I owe you? You were already owing Melinda. We're not doing this trifecta of owing each other. At this point, we might
It
as well just
sounds
be
like
working.
you want me to put it on more than anyone else.
Well, if you don't, I will.
Not if I have it.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll put it on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you put it on.
I'll give you my appreciation and loyalty for forever. How about that?
Whoa.
For a second, the little green emerald glows when you put the amulet on. Then it stops glowing. Hey, Mai, what was your passive perception again? 20? Yeah. After he puts this necklace on, the zombies that are embedded in the wall above the doorway have stopped moving, and their eyes are staring directly at him.
Hey, Rigel, you seem to be a target.
I'm used to it.
But wait, are they
Even-
looking to him for orders, or are they looking to him like
Wait.
he's a tasty snack?
Wait, I also the fairy fate sphere thingy is still there. Is he in the circle?
I'm gonna test it.
He
while
would be
I'm next to you.
standing. He would be standing right next to you, Melinda. They are staring directly at him.
Let's see. I'll
He
go
is
over
invisible.
here, and then I'll go over here, and then I'll go over here.
Their eyes shift to stare at you, Rigel.
So that's a yes.
I'll come to do something.
Stop looking at me.
Very
They
original.
keep staring directly at you.
It didn't work.
Maybe there's a magic word.
Please stop staring at me.
Please stop staring at me.
Kuna Matata. No,
What a wonderful phrase.
no, they keep staring at you.
Tell them to, like, I don't know, attack somebody.
No.
I thought you were a man of science.
Attack each other.
Touch each.
Attack Lyra.
Wow.
They don't seem to do anything. They're just staring.
Nothing.
It seems like their interest in, like, before they were, like, reaching towards lights, before they were trying to, like, move towards objects and things. But now they're just completely still, other than staring at Rigel. Mai, you have finished your X-ray, your MRI of the structure, of the statue interior to the coral. It is of a manta ray. However, differences being that it has a shitload of eyes all over the front end of it. But a major difference, so that's very like Child of Charybdis, where they had that big eye and then a bunch of little eyes around it. Major difference here is that unlike the children of Charybdis that you've seen, where as their sort of wings, the sort of wingspan of a manta ray sort of goes outwards, instead of having tendrils, this creature is actually just a manta ray looking. Like, it doesn't have those, like, coral tendrils or designs. It doesn't have any of the, like, coral bits and bobs to the statue design. It seems to just be a multi-eyed manta ray.
But it's a statue within a cathedral-like building. I think Mai would probably ask her book what could or what was this temple worshipping?
Sure.
Mm.
Upon asking that question, the first thing that shows up is a image that you've already seen, which is actually of the stained glass window. That would be sort of above another portion of here. You notice that the cathedral above you guys doesn't have that stained glass window, so that's somewhere else in this temple or in this massive location. The second page speaks of Charybdis. Though the page says nothing, or omits, or doesn't have any information of Charybdis being a ruler of the undead. It speaks of Charybdis, king of the oceans. It speaks of ruler of these large manta ray creatures, the children of Charybdis. Doesn't say anything about the undead. It doesn't say anything about Charybdis being dead. It seems to be before Charybdis was slain. The first time.
Out loud. Out loud. This is one hell of an old temple.
Seems like it.
But if this is a temple to Charybdis and Mr. Dragon Boy over there found a amulet for the World Eater, I wonder if there was maybe a fight between the two.
Oh. Wouldn't it be great if Charybdis was summoned and we summoned this guy and they could just duke it out between themselves?
Figure it out yourselves.
Exactly. Then we don't even have to worry about it. They could just.
I mean, it'd probably be worse.
Worse?
I mean, two gods fighting.
I mean, he's not really like a god anymore in the world either. It sounds like he's a big old sea serpent. But if we could get him back to godhood, maybe he could fight Charybdis and we would be his favorites. And he might give us a few favors. Hypothetically speaking.
Ira really wants her kaiju.
I really love sea serpents.
Is that Lyra speaking or
It's both. It is
All of the
definitely both.
above. What would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna tap the amulet and just be like, "Hello,
Yeah.
World Eater."
You project your question, saying it out loud into the water. And then a reverberation comes back. A deep voice. Yes.
Hi. Found your amulet. Put it on. What? Found this in the underwater cathedral with lots of coral. What? Can you tell us what happened?
Interesting. I thought my flock dead there. Are you adventurers, perhaps? Did you find and happen to put my amulet on?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, if you want the information of what was once there, it's easy enough. It's old history. Back in the day, myself and Gribbs had a bit of a fight, a bit of a brawl. Of course, that was back when I was up north, and, well, I'm sure even the mortals still remember what happened up there. Of course, this was all before Charybdis was slain down in Atronia, and his subsequent rebirth in the whole undead thing. Members of my flock are still there, aren't they? And you begin to see that the green-eyed, glowing zombies begin to move again, and they're no longer looking directly at you, Rigel.
Yep. Assuming it's these green-eyed guys just stuck in the coral.
It is indeed. Although they're dead, aren't they? That's unfortunate. Well, free them or don't, I don't care.
What will they do if we free them? And how do we free them?
Well, they won't touch you. As for the coral, that would be old Charybdis magic. If I remember correctly, fire hurts it a lot, but
Oh, yes.
I only vaguely remember. Just carve them out. They won't hurt you for sure. Your friends, however, I'm not certain about.
Can Lyra, can you hear him?
Nobody
Can I hear?
else can hear it. That's not true. Kellyanna can hear all of this.
Huzzah.
Do you guys have any questions? I wasn't expecting to get an answer.
Can he send us some friends? World-eating friends?
So, to the world eater.
Mm-hmm.
My friend wants to know if you can send any allies to us. Like
You want
serpents.
me to send Al? You do know my cult is entirely non-existent now, correct? I am just a glorious monster living a glorious life in his lair.
Ooh, where's
Where's
your lair?
there?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
I would.
It's well hidden, so that the undead rising creature that is Charybdis doesn't ever get to see me again.
If we take out Charybdis, could we come visit?
Interesting. I don't mind that as a deal.
I mean, we might probably need your help, so any power you can give us will make it easier. There's someone else trying to revive him.
Power is question of divinity. You'll have to try to make a request, and I'll see what I can do. I am limited in my current situation, but you are at a site that happens to have a piece of Charybdis's old corpse. Always take it, use it for yourselves, or offer it to me.
Do you know where it is?
Vaguely. I believe my champion died in the room where it existed. Can't sense its presence. I believe it was in one of the major towers, though, at the time of his eradication.
We will search one of the towers.
Hmm.
And are you okay with multiple contacts, or like me contacting you a lot?
I don't much care. I'm alone in my lair, biding time, enjoying the shifts of the ocean. A little conversation never hurts, unless you get annoying.
No promise.
Hmm. It's fine. Many of my old cultists would beg all the time. It's kind of lonely not getting begged for this and that. Be nice to have somebody do it again for a while.
Well, I'm with someone who will probably have lots of questions and lots of requests.
Do you want to ask Lyra's question that she put in?
Oh,
Type the
sure.
question.
Are you at all connected with the monster that's part of the Pirate Council?
Oh gods. I have no information about anything other than where I currently am and you. Like I said, my cult died and fell to pieces long ago. It's just me and you.
Well, okay. I'll let you go. I gotta talk to my people.
Of course. No worries. No, I'll be listening. I'll be watching. I'll be hanging out.
Ooh. You. Okay.
We need to free him. We gotta kill Charybdis so he can roam free. Yes, hashtag hashtag the world eater did nothing wrong.
Guys,
Uktoa.
Lyra, he does not know anything about anything besides me and where he is. He won't tell me where he is, but if we take out Charybdis, maybe we can go chill out, hang out, talk with him. Them.
Perfect. We should hurry up and find this stupid ass relic so we can go kill Charybdis and get him.
So that is somewhere in one of the major towers. Also, we can free those guys, but they might hurt us, and by us I mean you guys, not me.
Well, I never saw a point in freeing them to begin with, so I feel like we can leave them there.
Figured, but
what
I
if
thought I'd let you
Caliana
know.
can get friends?
Caliana has an
That would be
entire
tough.
world of friends in her head.
But she could have more friends.
More
Zombie
friends.
friends?
More friends.
I mean, we could kill them, I guess.
Mm.
Said he didn't really care what happened. Also, he's watching and listening, so that's a thing. But that's just another person watching and listening.
Yeah, we already have like what, 3 or 4?
Oh.
Probably at least.
At least
Ask him-
2.
Ask him if he can get rid of the stupid red eyes. I don't know. Red and green cancel each other out, right? Or that just makes Christmas. But either way.
I'm gonna say he can't, just because I asked him for stuff and he said his power is very limited. Because his followers are all basically dead. And all he knows is ocean and me.
I have so many questions.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
So remember when we were all like mind connected and talked and did stuff?
You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific with that, Rigel.
So, how many times did we do that?
I think the one time
That's what I thought. So,
But-
Is it just the one time?
that we were mind connected. We talk on the earrings all the time, which is kind of like being mind connected, but verbally.
yeah. But
Anyways, what is the point you're getting to?
I wonder if we could try that and then try talking to him. If maybe all of you could also talk with him.
Oh, like go to Kaliana's mind palace? Isn't that what happened?
No, as long as you're within, I believe Kaliana is it 240 feet for your psychic
Yeah.
powers? As long as you're within 240 feet of Kaliana, which is why you guys use the earrings instead normally, because 240 feet, while very large, is not absurd, compared to the miles on those earrings. As long as you're within that range, Kaliana can keep you on a network where you can just think at each other. And you sort of see each other's thoughts, or hear each other's thoughts. I mean, you could see it too if you want to show like memories. But yeah, as long as you're within 240 feet of Kaliana, Kaliana can set it up so that everybody can sort of hear and see each other's, into each other's minds.
Oh, I see. So, all right, Rigel, are you trying to see if you can talk to him and we can all hear him?
Yes.
Did you want to give it a go, Kaliana? Do you want to set back up the network?
Sure.
How much time we have? How much time do we have to be down here right now? Because this
Freaking
might take a
Skype call.
Well, he did say he was kind of lonely. He missed the
Aw.
conversations.
Aw.
And so, as long as we weren't annoying, he
Oh.
doesn't mind us calling.
Mm.
Like the Lyra knows Lyra's no.
Mm. Look, I'm a
I mean,
little
I'm
bit of
pretty
a
sure
fangirl
he'd be
for-
okay with some worship, you know.
How large is this creature?
I have absolutely no
You should
idea.
ask him. Ask him how big he is.
I feel
They-
like that's a slightly offensive question.
You
He's
connect
called the World Eater, so
You
And is he
connect
the size of the world?
all
I
of
don't
your
think it's offensive
minds,
if you're like, man, you must be massively devastating. How large are you?
and you are now able to communicate in each other's minds.
Hello, Mr. World Eater.
Hear the low rumbling of the ocean for a second, and then a
Mm.
yes.
it works. I brought friends.
I see that. I saw them before, but now I can hear that one.
If one were to reinstate your godliness, I was gonna say godhood, but that sounded real weird. How would one go about doing that?
Gather me worshippers. Rebuild my cult.
I could have told you that.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes there's like blood sacrifices that are required. Sometimes you just talk to one and you become a like cursed storm. It just depends on the god.
Blood sacrifices help.
Blood
they
for the
have
blood
to
god.
be
Blood for the blood god.
unwilling? Blood for the blood god.
Any form of worship works. Whether it's gracious worshipping for blessings or fear of death. Worshipping is worshipping regardless.
Oh, while I have you. So I got this thing on me. Can't take it off. It is cursed. Do you know what that means?
The thing that you're using to
Oh,
communicate with.
Yeah, what is the curse? Besides can't take it off. Because so far that's all I can do is not take it off. Or that's all I figured out.
that amulet was a very old creation of mine for particular members of the cult that weren't quite as willing to do my bidding.
Oh, cool. It's one of those.
Yeah, the curse is simple. I tell you to raise your hand, and everybody sees as Rigel's hand raises for no reason. And your hand raises.
Uh-oh.
The curse is you can't take it off and you can't disobey.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. This is great.
You willingly put it on. Of course, if I try to make you do anything you very obviously would not, things that would harm yourself or your friends, you'll get a chance to fight against the power, but if it's neither of those things, you just do it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, mechanically, if there is any action that would cause harm to yourself, your friends, or anything that you would not normally do. So like raising your hand doesn't count because like it doesn't affect anything, right? You're not in combat, you're not in whatever. Um, they could ask you to swim to a corner of a room. It doesn't really affect much. But as soon as they do something that is effectually against your morality or against your um, general well-being or the well-being of those around you, then you get to make a wisdom save. Like
Okay.
Like if
any
you told you
other,
attack my.
yeah, like any other mental
Yeah.
connection control.
See,
Like a,
you say that, but I've attacked my like at least 3 times now, so.
it's true. Yeah, it's effectively
if
like
he
a
told you
charm
to do it.
person, except it comes with the effect of you don't get to make a save against anything that doesn't cause a problem.
Fun.
Hmm.
Ah.
I thank you for putting it on.
Oh, no problem, my guy.
We should start a cult with the foundation of the businesses that we've created, and we could just rename. You already have one that's named like something something Cryptus.
Yep. But that's to hunt things like Charybdis, which it ended up working out really well.
Didn't it? Like that's some Sixth Sense sort of stuff right there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lyra. You made that come true.
Do the rest of your friends have questions for me? I'll take that as
What's
a
your
no.
nickname?
Okay. My nickname? The World Eater.
It's
No, I
a
mean
good
like for
nickname.
short. Do we call you like Worldy?
Edie Petey.
EVP?
Petey Petey.
Right. No shortening, please.
Speaking of short, how long are you?
Lyra.
I need to know.
Well, when you get the ability to come to my lair, you'll get to see for yourself.
Okay.
You can't just ask.
Is that all your questions, Lyra?
Well, for right now, I mean, I want to know more, but I feel like you're gonna judge me for it. I want to know.
Wait.
I'll wait. We gotta go. Actually, we came here for a relic. Does he know about where Did we already ask him about where the relic might be in this layer?
Yeah, big old tower.
There's several big towers.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
In
Just start
one of
ramming
the
my ship into
towers,
several of them.
Yep.
whichever
Does he
tower is
know
where my champion died.
if somebody wanted to take your champion's place, how would they go about doing that?
Assuming nothing has changed in the temple, you merely need to acquire the items that were upon my champion and pledge your undying loyalty to me.
Is it the big hot tower? Is it the tower that's spraying hot stuff?
I have no idea.
Spicy bubble tower.
Yeah, that one.
From what I can tell,
mean,
its body is still active, so my champion is still somewhere. They're just not currently alive.
Makes
That
sense.
doesn't mean they're not dead either. So that's probably gonna be annoying.
Well, I'll be fine.
Fuck you, Rachel. Not really though. But just a little spicy disgusting stupid necklace.
So, what would you guys like to do?
My. Do you have more
Eh.
questions for your book?
Not today.
Oh man. I guess just pick a tower and go for it.
I will say,
How many towers are there?
as a reminder, there is one hallway that seems to have intelligent life according to Kaliana's psionics from before.
That's right.
She probed out for thoughts and only found all of you guys and something down one of the hallways. Intelligent, but not readable, if that makes sense. There is a creature of some kind that has the ability to think, but is not thinking things that are understandable currently.
Let's go that way.
All right. Kaliana, you point the way? Or you... to glow the way?
Oh,
As this entire time you're still in the glowy the glowy form.
Are you an anglerfish?
An aberration, anglerfish.
I don't think it was an anglerfish. I think it was one of the like glowing almost like
It was a
eel
long
things.
thing.
Yeah, it was like it almost looks like a centipede of the ocean, but purely glowing and like semi-translucent.
I was like, wait a second. Am I remembering this correctly?
Yeah.
The answer was no.
Not an anglerfish, but does glow quite a bit. A good light for the inside of the temple. It is vaguely glowing in here still. On every like dark piece of coral, there are little crystalline structures of blues or reds or green that also have some light to them. So there's enough that you can see down here all the time. But Kaliana being here is like, a half torch basically just moving through, so lights things up pretty decently. So you lead down the tunnel that has the intelligent life question mark. All right. Heading through one of the tunnels off to the side, one of the hallways. Once again, similar things that you've seen before. Coral blasted against walls, holding body parts, reaching out from them. All of them having some form of tattoo or something that connects them to the World Eater cult. However, once again, you don't get to see any of their eyes or faces. It seems they were basically completely buried, other than maybe one or two limbs poking out. It doesn't get as dense in the amount of coral as it did back in the first tower you guys came through. However, as you guys get closer and closer closer to another archway door in the distance, you see something familiar. Bits of the much darker coral that you've grown used to now that you're here in this temple, and the glowing bits of greens and blues and reds is a white coral with pastel colors creeping, almost clinging like roots around the coral that you've gotten used to down here. And as you look down the hallway, it seems to be coming from that direction, as if this cursed dead coral has grown out from whatever is in that room ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Oh boy.
Well, anyways, we start blasting.
Anyways, we start blasting.
It's up to you. You can. The doors are closed ahead of you, though. They got a sort of crust of white coral all over them, too. Dead coral. Coral.
Coral.
Coral.
Yeah. Friggin' best Carl I know.
Are you guys gonna try to go open the doors? Are you gonna wait? Are you gonna just start blasting?
Yes.
What you want to do?
I guess we should open the door.
All right. Who's gonna try to open the coral encrusted door?
Me.
Oh, Rigel, yes, because he's got the amulet.
He does.
The tablet? Is that what you're gonna say?
The
To be
tabulus.
to be fair,
Antacids and can handle.
my and him both also have flaming weapons, and you guys know that the coral just crumbles to heat. Yeah. So you head on up to the door, Rigel, and are you just gonna try to break it open with strength, or are you gonna use your sword to sort of cut off the coral bits in the gap and then open the door, or something else? You can completely make something else up, obviously.
I'll just try to. Is it like completely covered in the coral?
No, it's almost like when your car freezes over. There's just ice everywhere, so
Oh, okay.
you imagine it's gonna be difficult to open the door, but you can probably just raw strength it.
Yeah. I just try to shove it open.
Sure. Give me a strength check, please. Check strength. Heck yeah,
Yay.
natural 20. It's
Yeah.
not even difficult. You expect it to be difficult because you're in water, so you like put your shoulder to it for a second, and then your feet gets caught on the sort of white coral beneath yourself, and then you just in one easy push just and it just breaks apart as you open the door. As you do so, because I know that Melinda, our lovely Ragma, has some family over, what we'll do is we'll actually end this a little early. So I'm going to describe what you guys see, and then we will end. So, upon cracking open these doors, you see heavily embedded in different bits of coral and pieces. Let me open the map. Hang on. Boards. Service temple. Hang on one moment. Oh. Up. So more coral than I actually put in here, but I only put like important bits. I'm not sure if you can see it on stream very well, but as you break open the doors, you are able to see into a portion of this temple. You are able to see that there are heat pits, like locations that seem to obviously have like lava or some sort beneath them. There's encrusting of that white coral all over the place, and sitting dead center. I didn't put the. Or did I put it in my users? No, wait. I thought I might not have. Might not have. In which case, we'll have to use that one while I get it. So instead, I'm just going to describe what's in front of you. You see in the center here, with a ton of heat bubbles floating up from it, a large spear. I'm talking maybe 30-foot tall spear, sort of embedded down into this heat vent, and you see a large serpent-like creature has been skewered onto this spear, with its head sitting at the top with the butt of the spear all the way through it, and it's just like all the way carved into it. It almost looks like if you've ever seen that the medical image that looks like a snake going up a sword or whatever, except the sword, imagine the sword was actually through the snake instead. That's basically what this looks like. It's just a spear stabbed all the way through a massive snake. The spear begins to pull away out of the snake as its eyes open, one glowing green, the other a vibrant red.
Mm. Mm.
Why is it both?
Christmas.
You see as an individual steps around the creature. A well-armored, looks to be a Triton of some sort. They have sort of blue-green skin. One eye glowing bright red. A shield with the symbol of a blue serpent as they draw their trident. Not only do you see a large serpent that is infected by whatever this coral is, the undead curse that you're used to fighting against, you see the champion of the World Eater, ready to fight. And that's where we'll pick up next time. It's going to be a fight. You guys have two opponents.
Dun, dun, dun.
Champion of the World Eater and a large sea serpent of some sort.
I was hoping the World Aviator champion was gonna help us fight. I
Mm,
feel like he should just switch sides.
got one glowing red eye. Also, he looks a lot more dead than he should be. He looks like a Triton, but also his skin's flaking off, and he's missing an entire ear, and part of his like jaw is cracked open. You know, like he's undead. He's
Uh-oh.
very obviously undead. But he's the new Charybdis undead, the red-eyed undead. But yeah, hope you're prepared for a fight next time we play. Seeing as Rogma has to go soon, we'll just let Rogma head on out. No worries, you got family there or something, right? So you good, you Gucci. Hang out, IRL before game life. You know what I mean? What we're gonna do is we're gonna raid somebody with my viewers. Thank you so much for all my viewers. I appreciate you. I might also stream later because I kind of want to do texturing on my horns for those who haven't seen them. Oops, not that one. That one. I have new horns. These are the new horns for my model. I turned into Rogma for a second. Ignored the fact that I turned into Rogma for a second.
Rude.
These are my new horns. But if I go into chillin', you'll see that they are untextured. They have a wireframe model to them, which is not great. So yeah, I might do a little stream afterwards, later today, of me just doing the texturing for that, because why the hell not? Let's see, who can we rate? Who can we?
Well, why am I the only one on the stream? What the freak?
It's because I was in chillin'. I don't have anybody else in the chillin' menu, I don't think.
Rude.
You're right.
Because chillin' is when
Wait,
we
what?
normally play. Chillin' is when we normally play multiplayer, anyways. So it's normally only me and you by the time I need to turn on chillin'. That's why you're the only one there. Yeah. So let's just go hop over to loading ready run because they're doing cafe. I don't know live, but we'll see. Oh, they just started. They're just 7 minutes into their stream. Hell yeah, brother. So we're gonna hop over to loading ready run because they're awesome. They're gonna play some rhythm games. Later today, I'll hopefully do the horn model stuff. If not, then it won't be until early Tuesday or Friday, and I don't know if I want to wait that long. I worked on stuff while I was off stream. Do you see my gauntlets, my little bracelets that are my crown?
Daddy.
I worked
Infinity
on those
gauntlets,
off
what?
stream because I had to
What?
rebuild my model anyway. So I was like, I'm gonna add something to it real quick. So I added that, and then I messed up the lighting a little bit. I'm not as bright as I used to be. So heck, but we'll figure that out as well. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your time zone. I hope to see you next time I stream, which should be tomorrow for Multiplayer Monday. I'll be playing something hopefully with Rainland, followed by something with Rogma. We have to decide: do we want to restart our swappy swaps? Do we want to do Baldur's Gate and then next week do Sea of Thieves and then Baldur's Gate, Sea of Thieves, Baldur's Gate, Sea of Thieves like we did last time?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to add Lethal Company in there too, but then I also want to add Elden Ring in there because we
Elden Ring?
started that. But
It's a lot of shit.
it's a lot of games, man.
And she has a lot with me that she doesn't get to play.
How's about this?
Yeah.
Every Monday, after I'm done playing with Rainland, we'll roll a dice and we'll see what we end up feeling like we're gonna play. And we've got a few possible games. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Still go.